Good day to you and welcome back to the British Report. Imagine the scene. Westminster is in a state of absolute meltdown. The Conservative Party is essentially a circular firing squad with better tailoring. And Sir Keir Starmer is sitting in number 10, trying to look like he has a plan, while the walls are literally moving. Then in walks Nigel Farage. But he did not just walk in, he detonated a political nuclear device live on air, and he did it with a smirk that says, "I know something you do not know." The insurgent leader of Reform UK has just revealed that the Great Realignment is no longer just a Tory problem. While the world was busy watching Kemi Badenoch sack Robert Jenrick for plotting in the dark, Farage was already 3 steps ahead, whispering 2 words that have sent a shiver down the spine of every Labour MP: Labour next. Yes, you heard that correctly. Farage has teased an imminent high-profile Labour defection that is set to rock the government to its very core. It is fast, it is ruthless, and it is making the stable politics of Keir Starmer look like a house of cards in a hurricane. Quick favour, if you're loving this, hit that subscribe button. Over 92% of viewers haven't yet. It's free, takes a second, and means the world to us. Thanks if you did. Now back to the show.
You come to the UK illegally under Keir Starmer, we guarantee 4-star. We can't promise 5-star, but we guarantee. I mean, come on, what have they done? Nothing. Apart from lie to us. I'm sorry, but I now got to the point where he just repeatedly lies to us. Over and over and over. It's almost unbelievable. Whether he actually himself believes in what he says, I don't know.
Before we get to the Labour bombshell, we have to talk about the absolute chaos that unfolded on Thursday. Robert Jenrick, a man who was literally the runner-up to lead the Conservative Party just a few months ago, has officially joined Reform UK. But he did not just leave. He was pushed out of a moving vehicle by Kemi Badenoch. The Conservative leader did not just sack him from the shadow cabinet. She scorched the earth behind him. She claimed she had irrefutable evidence that Jenrick was plotting in secret to defect in a way designed to be as damaging as possible to his colleagues. It is like a political version of Mean Girls, only with more talk about the European Convention on Human Rights and fewer pink outfits. Badenoch took to X, formerly Twitter, to announce that she had removed the whip and suspended his membership with immediate effect. She said the British public is tired of political psychodrama, which is a bit like a pyromaniac complaining about the heat. But while Kemi was busy trying to frame this as a good day because bad people were leaving, Jenrick was already standing on a stage next to Nigel Farage, looking like he had just been liberated from a hostage situation.
He says no one's going to listen to us. Who's going to listen to him? The winter field allowance, U-turn. Waspy women, U-turn. The 2-child benefit cap, U-turn. Grooming gangs inquiry, U-turn. The family farms tax, U-turn. Digital ID, U-turn. Jury trials? U-turn. We hope so. I think that's going to be the next one, Mr. Speaker. Week after week, these poor people sitting behind him have to defend the indefensible, only for him to U-turn a few days later. Mr. Speaker, one of his cabinet ministers told a journalist that what's happening at the moment is extraordinarily bad. Another said we've gone through a catastrophic series of missteps. Yet another minister said, "We are so unpopular at the moment, I've come to the conclusion it's worth rolling the dice on a new leader." They're right, aren't they?
This is where the energy shifts. At the press conference following Jenrick's defection, Farage was asked if Reform was simply becoming the Conservative Party. He laughed it off with the confidence of a man who knows he is holding all the aces. He admitted he had been talking to Jenrick for weeks, but then he dropped the real kicker. He looked directly into the cameras and revealed that he has been talking to senior Labour figures as well. Then he said it. There will be a Labour defection next week, and not just any backbencher that nobody has heard of. Farage promised that this figure is well known. Think about the implications of that for a second. We have spent months talking about the Tory exodus. We have seen Nadeem Zahawi jump ship. We have seen Nadine Dorries, Jonathan Gullis and Dame Andrea Jenkins all join the Reform ranks. But a sitting Labour politician, in a year where Starmer is supposed to be enjoying his honeymoon period, that is not just a defection, that is a declaration of war. It suggests that the dissatisfaction with Starmer's managed decline is reaching into his own ranks. Farage is not just picking up the scraps from the Tory table, he is raiding the Labour pantry. Let us look at the irrefutable evidence Kemi Badenoch was talking about. Reports suggest that Jenric's aides were caught essentially leaving vicious resignation speeches lying around where senior Tories could find them. They were allegedly plotting a grid of shit-style rollout. Yes, that is the technical Westminster term, to maximise the embarrassment for the shadow cabinet.
So Starmer's going to get tough. We're going to treat the trafficking gangs as if they are terrorists. We're going to take the lead in Europe. Goodness me, I've heard that before. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to sign back up to Europol, not Interpol, no, Europol, the EU's own police force. And we will take our share of asylum seekers crossing the Mediterranean, coming in to the European Union. We'll be signing up for the EU refugee programme, something we weren't even in as members of the European Union. And given that yesterday 6,800 people landed in Lampedusa, Italy alone, I suspect the number, even if the boat stopped, the numbers coming would be even bigger than now. We're going back into EU programmes.
Jenric did not hold back at the press conference either. He called the Conservative Party rotten and failed. He claimed that behind closed doors, members of the shadow cabinet admit that Britain is broken, but say they cannot fix it because they were the ones who broke it. He specifically targeted the shadow chancellor, Mel Stride, and the shadow foreign secretary, Priti Patel. It is a civil war that has moved from the barracks into the town square. Jenric is now the second sitting MP to switch to reform, joining Danny Kruger. Farage is building a team with actual ministerial experience, and the establishment is terrified. Nigel Farage is playing a very clever game here. He knows that to be taken seriously as a party of government, he needs more than just protest voters. He needs people who know where the light switches are in the Home Office. By bringing in Jenric and potentially a well-known Labour figure next week, he is shifting the narrative. He even issued a deadline. After the May local elections, the last call for Tory defectors will be over. He is telling them to jump now or be left behind on a sinking ship. The polls already have Reform neck and neck with Labour, and with every high-profile defection, the fringe label becomes more and more absurd. Starmer's team dismissed Jenric as a failed Tory, but you can bet your bottom dollar they are currently checking every Labour MP's phone records to see who has been having lunch with Nigel. The two words Farage used to tear into Starmer's authority were not just a taunt, they were a prophecy. The political landscape of 2026 is being redrawn in real time, and Nigel Farage is the one holding the pen. The question now is, who is the well-known Labour figure? And can Kemi Badenoch stop the bleeding before the Conservative Party ceases to be a national force altogether? One thing is for certain, the next 7 days are going to be the longest of Keir Starmer's life. Thanks for watching.